everybody. Nice to see a big crowd here tonight. Just a couple of things I wanted to review for the community. You may have seen that we have started a pilot program for the use of public space. I've already gotten a lot of screaming about it, and negative comments and positive comments, and I've learned in the year and a half I'm here, there's no way I'm going to make everybody happy, but that's okay. Right now, we have opened up 2 rooms in the Cultural Center. For one room will be, you want to come in and just hang out, come on in, and the hours have been posted. The other room will be, I want to get together with a book club and I don't want anybody else in my space, so I'm going to reserve this space. I call it temporary, pilot, because based upon what happens, it can be modified. Our plan is to ultimately have these spaces on the 2nd floor of Sportspark. So this is just temporary for the Cultural Center, and it'll give us a sense of what kind of interest there is, who wants to use it, and how many people want to use it. Sportspark on the 2nd floor needs a lot of work, and depending on what the interest is in the community, will help us figure out, and there's our engineering team, will help us figure out how we're going to configure the 2nd floor. We have also, we're waiting for the appointment of a director of Parks and Recreation, and frankly, I'd like that person to come on board to help us also figure out what is the programming that's going to be in Sportspark. That's something we've really never concentrated on, to have a real serious program for that fantastic facility. And again, that includes, do we want a Zumba room on the 2nd floor? I mean, a lot of questions that frankly, I went to law school, I don't know that. So I think if we have a team, and it'll be the engineering team and the Parks and Recreation team that already exists, as well as that will be coming aboard. The future of public space, this is just the beginning of the use of public space. And we ask you to tell us what you want. Understand that this is just the beginning. Sportspark. This has been probably the biggest disappointment since I'm here. Sportspark's been ready in terms of the contractors since January. Correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, but since January. And what's holding us up? What's holding us up is sounds like computer problems at the Department of Buildings, of the New York City Department of Buildings. We have called upon the mayor's office, who has been incredibly helpful and given us people at DOB to reach out to. And we have reached out to them. We have called upon Cornell, who has their contacts, and we've reached out through that source. Every couple of weeks I'm told it's any day now, and you can imagine how frustrating that is. So I can't give you a real date, because nobody seems to be able to give us a real date. From the moment we get the blessing from DOB, Con Ed has promised to hook up that gas. The minute the gas is hooked up, there's nothing else, right, gentlemen? There's nothing else that stops us from opening the door. And I think you're going to be really pleased. The new roof is beautiful. I think the pool looks fantastic. And there'll be heat. There'll be real heat with the new boiler, not a temporary boiler. So I'm excited about it, but as I said, it's the most disappointing project because, I've made statements that just appear as if they're not true, and I believe they were true when I made them. And so just bear with us. If you know anybody at the Department of Buildings, come on aboard and help us. But, we've been told March 16th is an outside date. I can say that, but I don't believe anything. So that's the latest on Sportspark. The Blackwell House, you got a little bit of a taste of what's going on there from Judy Birney. We do have a completed RFP. We're very excited about it. Judy's going to help us identify contractors that have some landmark experience. This is a fantastic building. It was, original building was built in the 17th century, and it's one of, according to Judy, 17th century.
What?
1696.
David, you're on a roll tonight. You're on a roll tonight.
You were right.
So one of the things I've learned while I'm here is that to a certain extent, the reason why so few things have gotten done on this island for so many years is that veterans don't want to come here. They don't want to work here. And we have to change that. And one of the ways we're going to change that is we're going to become our own public relations marketing firm. Gretchen is writing some PR for me with how it's a new day and a new management team, and we're going to pay you on time, and whatever we can do to identify contractors, to identify, maybe Sirio knows 5 contractors, and I'll reach out to those, and Michael knows a whole bunch, and Cornell knows a whole bunch, and we're going to just really do a marketing campaign to try to get contractors to come here. And Judy's getting us some names of people, right, Judy? And we're gonna really do a PR campaign. So we're hoping that the actual construction will start this spring, correct, gentlemen, for Blackwell House? And that's the news on that one. The tram elevator, a lot of people have asked me what's going on with the tram elevator. We had an unsuccessful RFP, probably for the same reason I've just described, and we are going out with, again, a marketing campaign. Gretchen, again, has written this PR piece. We're putting the glossy picture of the beautiful glass elevators, and I'm going to be reaching out, telling everybody it's a new day and a fabulous opportunity, and 2nd Avenue will never look the same, and you'll be known all around the world for the 2nd Avenue elevator. So we're going to be going out with this RFP, I think by next month, correct? Yeah. Next month. And the tram platform RFP is out. The bids are in. They're before the rating committee. And those 2 platforms will be done, both on the Manhattan side as well as the Roosevelt Island side. The only issue is going to be when, because we don't want it to be at a time when I guess Cornell is going to be doing their ribbon cutting in September. So if we can finish it before then, we don't want the mayor and the governor to have to be on a platform that's under construction.
On the other hand, maybe we get some DOB attention.
Right.
Vision 0.
Yeah.
Let's have it stand on the ground that DOB wouldn't approve the platform.
Yeah. No, I don't think we have, somehow we don't know we have a DOB problem there. We seem to have a lot of interest in those because they're smaller projects. We've got 7 or 8 bids, or 7 qualified bids, and the rating committee will make a decision by next week, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll on that one. So you'll be seeing that construction, which is not going to be pleasant, but hopefully you'll cooperate knowing that we'll have beautiful new platforms. You heard about the youth center and Catherine's laundry list of 1 million things that we're going to be doing with that, and we assume that that will be posted in April, and again, the center will not be closed while that work is going on. And because of David Crowd, I got to do a shout out to David Crowd. The Veterans Program is moving forward. We have the next meeting. We're going to try an evening meeting to see if we can generate some more interest. Matt was there for the first meeting, and I thought it was good, but not enough interest. So we're going to try an evening because some veterans are working and they weren't able to come. And so March 21st at the Senior Center, and it will be 6 to 8. And our Community Relations Department is working to try to get us a speaker from the Veterans Administration from New York State, and I think that'll be helpful, get an idea of what our veterans need, what they want, what kind of programs they'd like in the future, and what kind of services they need from Roosevelt Island.
What's the issue?
Yeah, I think, hopefully, I mean, we had about, what, 6 or 7 veterans showed up the first one, something like that. And hopefully in the evening we'll have a bigger turnout.
I'm gonna tell you something interesting that happened that day. Matt and I were talking, we're both veterans, and Matt started discussing or describing his Army experience. Now, I've known Matt for 20 years or more, and I've known he was a veteran, but in the context of this veterans meeting we were having, it was the first time we ever exchanged any thoughts about how we had served and where and when and all that sort of thing, which I think is at least one portion of the stuff that we should be considering in terms of what a veteran essential should be. A place for veterans, men and women, to be able to talk about these things, these kinds of things. I'm kind of buying into your vision for Sportspark and all these other spaces. I was absolutely delighted coming down here tonight to hear all these children talking, laughing, and being and doing all over this building. I'm very programmed for this. We moved here for our kids many, many years ago, and people still move here for their kids. And the most and the best we can do is do what's right for our children, to quote you. So way to go, dude.
Thank you.
Hey, Senator.